Countless eons have passed since our ancestors traveled to the Promised Land from the Land of Calamity. Eons still have they wandered, aimlessly and scattered. Only when Shershet, the last prophet, proclaimed the dragon's rule from atop the sacred mountain, had our purpose become unobscured, our destinies manifest. United by faith, great rulers of the past bounded petty kingdoms into the mighty Kudonian Empire, a new center of civilization and a launching point for many voyages of exploration and conquest. That is how the barbaric land, later dubbed Nova Drakonia, was discovered, and in it the magical Balta ore, the world's only source of pale iron, renowned for its unique strength and temper. A century later, Nova Drakonia has been crowned by the port city of Swordhaven, and at least partially tamed. But this land of mystery and danger yet calls to the adventurous souls from every corner of the known world. It is with one such adventurer that our tale begins.
Hello and welcome to Let's Play the demo for Swordhaven Iron Conspiracy, with me, Bring It On. Swordhaven is being developed and published by Adam Team, the same developer behind Adam RPG and its expansion/sequel Trudegrad. There is currently no release date, as the game is in Kickstarter, as you can see right there. And while I don't normally play Kickstarter or early access games on the channel, this is a developer I believe in, as I really enjoy their previous games. And I would like to see this game get funded and come to fruition so I can eventually play it in full on the channel. So I'll use what little influencer, because that's what I get called, power to help promote the game. So it is a fantasy CRPG, so it looks like Adam Team is dipping their toes in all the major CRPG genres, as they've done post-apocalyptic, now fantasy, and who knows, maybe next it'll be a sci-fi space CRPG. So in this episode, we'll jump into a new game and explore the character creator, which I assume will be expanded on as they develop the game. And then next time we'll jump into the demo proper. Alright, get to select our sex. Male. Matho of Autumnstar. How about Donnie the Fist? In Kudonian society, men are generally expected to be strong, bellicose, and valiant. Every community and culture has their own ever-evolving idea of a male archetype, a set of expectations of how a real man should act, speak, dress, and conduct himself. There are, of course, outliers in these societal norms. And female. In Kudonian society, women are generally expected to be perceptive, reasonable, and prudent, and the second paragraph is the same. Except pronouns are swapped around. Alright. Background. We can select Noble or Bandit. The Noble gives you +1 strength, +5 to bladed weapons, intimidation, and outdoorsmanship. The days when the Kudonian noble houses battled each other for power and glory are waning. The Emperor is no longer the first among equals, but an autarch ruling over a much humbled aristocracy that is now clashing over clerical assignments and the Imperial Chancellery and officers' commissions in the army. Fortunately, there is still a chance to write your name in the annals of history. Though the monsters of legend are all but extinct in the Empire proper, and the wildlands of Nova Drakonia, they can be found in abundance. Hunt down these fabled beasts and ensure great renown for yourself and your family. And Bandit. You get +1 to dexterity, +5 to axes and blunt, pickpocketing, and lockpicking. The criminal underbelly of the Kudonian Empire spans a broad web of villainy, from the lowly cut purse who spends his ill-gotten gains on drink and dice, to the shadowy and disciplined thieves' guilds. Law-abiding folk call this horde of ne'er-do-wells the Night Army. There are many reasons why a criminal might make their home in Nova Drakonia. Perhaps to avoid the executioner's double-headed axe, or vengeful competitors in their illicit trade. Perhaps, like so many others, they're simply looking for a better life. Whatever the case may be, this new land presents nigh endless opportunities for self-enrichment. I'm gonna go with Bandit. Alright, now attributes. We have Strength, Governs maximum carry weight, intimidation and dialogue, melee and unarmed damage, and also slightly increases health and stamina. Attention. Governs accuracy in combat and lets you notice easily overlooked details both in the game world and in dialogue. Endurance. Your maximum health, stamina, and resistance against negative effects, as well as your natural damage threshold, all depend on endurance. Personality. Affects your speechcraft skill. The Nova Drakonian's reaction to you will differ depending on this stat. Intellect. Affects the number of skill points earned each level, and offers additional dialogue options. Dexterity. Ability to dodge blows, accuracy in melee combat, combat speed, and many other details all depend on dexterity. And luck. Governs the success of many endeavors, from dealing and receiving armor-piercing blows, to dodge and the odds of causing maximum weapon damage. Luck influences them all in a small way. Alright, so we have 4 points to allocate. Okay, I'll go all the way down to 1. Probably don't want to do that. That looks pretty good. Alright, skills. Martial arts. Either hone your skill with fist weapons such as gauntlets, claws, and knuckle dusters, or master the esoteric path of true unarmed combat. This skill increases your chance to hit with fist weapons and increases both the base damage and accuracy of your kicks and throws when no weapon is equipped. Bladed weapons. Increase accuracy and open additional combat techniques for daggers, one-handed swords, and two-handed swords. Daggers are quick, cause bleeding, and often pierce armor to compensate for low damage. One-handed swords are the ideal middle ground for fencers due to their defensive techniques. Two-handed swords are on the slow side, but deal the most raw damage and include devastating area of effect attacks. So my primary run, I'll probably do axes and blunt. Same with my background will be noble, depending on what other backgrounds they add. So I think this time I'll use bladed weapons. That at 45. Axes and blunt. Increase accuracy and open additional combat techniques for axes, maces, and mauls. Master the savage ways of the axe with techniques that sacrifice defense in exchange for increased damage. Become a knockdown dealing, armor destroying beast by mastering maces, or transform into an unstoppable juggernaut who can launch foes into the air and bludgeon whole groups of opponents with a hefty two-handed maul. Be excited about that. Spears and halberds. Increase accuracy and open additional combat techniques for spears and halberds. Stand guard with a lighter spear, protecting allies even during the enemy's turn. Deliver precise stabs to your foes. Or study the path of the halberd, which, though it is the heaviest and slowest weapon type, will turn into a furiously spinning tornado of death, provided you have the stamina, that is. Sounds pretty cool too. Ranged weapons. Increase accuracy and open additional combat techniques for bows, crossbows, throwing weapons, and certain alchemical concoctions. Bows are the fastest ranged weapons with the lowest damage, but make up for it with quick and precise chain shots and area of effect attacks. Crossbows are less elegant, but excel at piercing armor, sometimes skewering more than one foe with a single shot. Throwing weapons are the middle option, and feature both defensive and offensive techniques. Oh, and I am purposely not reading the Journeyman, Expert, Master, Grandmaster, and Genius. I guess I could. Intimidation governs your ability to cruelly bend people to your will. Persuasion is your ability to influence others with your silver tongue. Bluff determines your skill with the subtle art of deception. Haggling is used for trading and exacting a discount while bartering. Outdoorsmanship helps you find points of interest during your travels, avoid combat, and increase both your travel speed and carrying capacity. I'll put some points into that. There's a companion you can only find in Adam RPG that required outdoorsmanship, so it's probably worth investing into. A stealth is the ability to hide from others while absconding with their worldly possessions. Lockpicking is the ability to open doors and chests from which you have been unjustly barred. Pickpocketing is the ability to surreptitiously slip items from the pockets of the unsuspecting citizens of Nova Drakonia. Crafting Determines your ability to create various items, including weapons and armor, to help you on your journey. And medicine. Governs your ability to both create and apply various remedies. I do have 5 points to spare. I think as a bandit. With intimidation. And 1 more point. Let's put in bladed weapons. Our distinctions. Ample Arbiter. Plump and rosy-cheeked, most people will trust you instinctively. When it comes to self-defense, however, you get winded quickly. You're not required to choose any distinction if you don't want to, but they make it more fun, right? Alright, so the Ample Arbiter gets +1 personality, +15 to persuasion and haggling, and -10 to martial arts, bladed weapons, axes and blunt, spears and halberds, and ranged weapons. And your character is obviously overweight. I wonder how that plays into the game, if it's an actual mechanic or not. Level-headed leader. You're a superior strategist, yet some might say you're too reluctant to get your hands dirty. You get +2 to personality, -25 to martial arts, bladed weapons, axes and blunt, spears and halberds, ranged weapons, and -3 extra hit points per level. Each time you're hit, there's a 1% chance to panic for 1 to 3 rounds. Oh man, that's rough. Oh, but you buff your allies. Okay. That's really cool. So each teammate will get +20 martial arts, bladed weapons, axes and blunt, spears and halberds, ranged weapons, +2 extra hit points per level, and every 3 levels, +1 damage threshold. So, as long as you have 2 teammates, you gain more than you lose. Brainy Beanpole. Tall and slender, you've always had your head in the clouds. Alas, your distracted attitude has left you alienated from your fellow man. +1 to intellect, +20 to crafting and medicine, -15 to intimidation, persuasion, bluff, and haggling. Your character is taller and slimmer than most. Eagle-eyed. You're blessed with great height and perfect vision. Unfortunately, your reliance on said eyesight has led to a crippling fear of anything that might damage or limit it. +1 attention, +10 to ranged weapons. Your character is slightly taller than average, cannot equip Slot's head. Each time you're hit, there's a 2% chance to panic for 1 to 3 rounds. That's probably a worthwhile trade-off. Heavy-handed. You're stronger than a good portion of the population, but your muscle-bound physique gets in the way when performing delicate tasks. +1 to strength, +20 to intimidation and martial arts, and -20 to stealth, lockpicking, and pickpocketing. Your character is bigger than most. That's most definitely the one I'll take on my primary run, once the game releases in full, but not this time around. Fortunate Fate. You've enjoyed a lifelong streak of good luck. Regrettably, this means you've never bothered to learn any skills requiring grit, patience, and hard work. So +1 to luck, +20 to bluff and haggling, -15 to outdoorsmanship, crafting, medicine, and lockpicking. Ugly upbringing. Your arduous childhood has made you resistant to hardship. Sadly, the more civilized side of life is a bit beyond your scope. So +1 to endurance, +20 to outdoorsmanship, +10 bleeding and poison resistance, -20 haggling, -15 bluff and persuasion, and -5 lockpicking and pickpocketing. Short of stature. Your head's shorter than the average Imperial citizen, but you're also that much more nimble. So +1 to dexterity, +20 to stealth, +10 to pickpocketing and lockpicking, -20 to intimidation and outdoorsmanship, -5 martial arts, bladed weapons, axes and blunt, and spears and halberds. Your character is smaller than average. And sole survivor. You're left barely breathing while others around you died in a terrible accident. Now you prefer to travel alone, lest this horrible experience be repeated. So you get +1 to endurance, +25 to martial arts, bladed weapons, axes and blunt, spears and halberds, ranged weapons, and outdoorsmanship. And then your teammates lose 15 martial arts, bladed weapons, axes and blunt, spears and halberds, ranged weapons, and outdoorsmanship. Each time you're hit, there's a 3% chance to panic for 1 to 3 rounds. So what do I want to... I really like the level-headed leader one, but I'm not going to do that on this run. Alright, so my persuasion's only 21 anyway. Yeah, I think we'll do ugly upbringing. Also fits with the bandit background. And our intimidation's not affected, which is my primary persuasion skill. So yeah, we'll go ugly upbringing. A few skills to go over. I think I'll only focus on the ones... my primary offensive skill. So I noticed it's only the weapon trees that are here. I'd be interested to see if you take the level-headed leader, you lose 25 to all of your combat skills, right? It'd be cool if you could just dump all your combat skills. And there's like a persuasion skill tree here where you could buff your allies instead. So you just completely stay out of combat yourself, but you can act as the strategist that Distinction says that you are. Maybe there's shouts or things like that for the intimidation. So you could have like intimidation, persuasion, and I guess you can't really associate. Maybe bluff would be a good one for this, so you can distract enemies while in combat. That'd be cool, and it would reward that playstyle. Alright, so for bladed weapons, we're going to use two-handed sword, of course, but we'll read all of these. So for dagger, you have out for blood. 50% chance to cause bleeding, a condition that drains additional hit points of targets for up to 3 turns. This attack deals minimum damage. Puncture. This attack ignores the target's damage threshold. Attack has minus 15% chance to hit. Precise poke. Attack deals minus 15% damage. Attack has plus 15% chance to hit. Unguard. This attack deals minimum damage, gain additional 50% chance to parry an incoming attack over the next 1 turn. Parry means completely avoiding an incoming attack, even if your dodge failed. Half Sword. Attack deals minus 10% damage. This attack ignores the target's damage threshold. And Cleave. Attack deals plus 20% damage. This action will stop you from moving around for 1 turn. Then Soft Spot under Mace. 33% chance to cause knockdown, a condition that disallows the target to move or act for 2 turns. Attack has minus 15% chance to hit. Kneecap. 50% chance to make the target lame for 2 turns. When lame, SP price for moving is doubled. This attack deals minimum damage. Attack has minus 15% chance to hit. For axes, Shield Splitter. Plus 50% chance to destroy the target's shield if the target has one equipped. This attack deals minimum damage. Savage Roar. This attack targets everything in a circular area with a 3-step radius. This action deals no damage, 5% chance to make targets panic. Affected will attempt to flee the battle for 1 turn. You will deal 10% more damage for 2 turns. You will have minus 7% to your chance to hit for 2 turns. See, I think this would be good for like a persuasion free. Maul. Pushback. Targets will take 5 steps away from you, 10% chance to cause knockdown, a condition that disallows the target to move or act for 1 turn. This attack deals minimum damage. See you next fall. 25% chance to cause knockdown. We know what it does. And when lame... oh, and lame. Alright, so you have about a 50% chance to cause something to happen. Cool. Alright, spears and halberds. Stay back. Target will take 3 steps away from you. This attack deals minimum damage. Reach advantage. The reach of this attack is 4 steps. Come hither. Lure every enemy in a 3-step range towards you. And leg hook. Attack deals plus 10% damage, 10% chance to cause knockdown. Alright, so it looks like maybe the halberd is a tank build. Alright, ranged weapons. For the bow, we have Bullseye. This attack may only be performed if you're at least 5 steps away from your target. This action always succeeds. Make space. The reach of this attack is 1 step. It should just be 1 step. Jump 3 steps away from the target. This action will remove your engage status, letting you move around the battlefield with double speed. And then shooting weapon, aka crossbow, breach armor. This attack may only be performed if you're at least 2 steps away from your target. Attack has minus 15% chance to hit. This attack ignores the target's damage threshold. And buttstock. The reach of this attack is 1 step. This attack deals minimum damage. Targets will take 2 steps away from you. And throwing weapons. Let's say Umbo Tumbler. 100% chance to make a target shield useless for 2 turns. This attack deals minimum damage. And Lucky Stab. The reach of this attack is 1 step. Attack deals plus 20% damage. And martial arts, we've got Brass Knuckles. Attack deals plus 15% damage. Attack has minus 10% chance to hit. And Twin Hooks. You attack twice. Attack deals minus 20% damage. This attack ignores the target's damage threshold. Unarmed, we have High Kick. If you're out of attack range, this attack allows you to jump up to 2 steps towards your target for free. When performing this attack, if there is more than 1 target in range, you will automatically strike 1 or more random target for free. That's cool. Attack deals plus 15% damage, 15% chance to cause knockdown. And send the targets flying up to 2 steps away from you. Attack has minus 5% chance to hit. And Low Kick. Attack everything in a 90-degree wide cone. Attack deals plus 10% damage. 20% chance to make the target lame. And jump 2 steps away from the target. Attack has plus 5% chance to hit. And Stance. Oh, cool. Way of the Water. This action deals no damage. Trade all the SP you have available when using this action for extra dodge points during the enemy's turn. Using this action will end your turn. Oh, neat. Alright, we're going to go with a two-handed sword, of course, and I think Glebe is the way to go. I mean, it's just an extra 20% damage right out the gate. There's only 1 portrait available for our appearance. Come back. Here we go. There we go. Dark gray is nice. We'll go with short, I think. And let's just do the circle beard. Looks kind of bandity, right?
Yes.
Yes. Alright, I'll play the demo in normal. I think that's fair. Alright, here's the character we'll jump into the demo with next time. So, thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.